light shines through the darkness.
The light shines in the darkness.
The light shines through the darkness.
The light shines through the darkness.
The light shines through the darkness.
The light shines in the darkness.
And the darkness has not overcome it.
And the darkness has no overcome it.
And the darkness has not overcome it.
But the darkness has not overcome it.
And the darkness has not overcome it.
And the darkness does not overcome it. And the darkness has not overcome it.
We are the light of the world.
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 I am the light of the world.
We are the light of the world.
We are the light of the world.
Well, hey, happy Easter, Revolution Church. All those tuning in to our Easter services in 2020. So glad you're able to join us for this amazing celebration. And we're filming this at France Park, which is this amazing, beautiful park right outside of Logansport, Indiana, in north central Indiana. And we're out here because if you can see it right behind me, there's this cliff, this kind of rock formation back there. And about 20 feet down the cliff, there's a cave. And I used to come out here as a kid quite often, and I would climb down the cliff and climb into the cave. We're not going to do that today. We're not going to risk that. But we've been talking at Revolution lately about how life is feeling a little bit like a cave, maybe mentally, emotionally, physically. It feels like you're living in a cave right now as we've been diving into this idea of hope in the dark, and that's the title we've given to today. And of course, this cave behind me, it's not like the caves we've been talking about as we've looked at some different Bible characters that found themselves in a cave. This is quite different. But several years ago, actually, our life group was able to go to a legit cave, like a cave with all kinds of different caverns and pathways, passageways. It was Blue Springs Caverns in southern Indiana, and you can take this boat ride as a group and kind of go through the different passageways. And when you get to the end of where the boat can go, you go back way into the cave, and before the boat turns around and goes back, they actually stop the boat and turn all the lights off in the cave. And it's the blackest black I've ever experienced in my life. Like there's no light at all left. You're so far back into the cave, no lights getting through, and your pupils cannot adjust to the blackness. Like you can wave your hand in front of your face, you can know your hand is there, you can't see a thing. It's just the total absence of light. And maybe you've tuned into this live stream today, and you're feeling a little bit dim, or like life is somewhat dark, like our world might seem dark. Your world might seem dark. Maybe you're dealing with an illness right now. Maybe someone that you love and care about is struggling with sickness, and it's causing life to feel somewhat dark. Or maybe you're watching this and you work in the medical field. You're a nurse, someone that's on the front lines of this battle that we're in, and you're feeling the weight of the longer hours and the extra shifts, and maybe even just the emotional weight that comes with just caring for patients in this season. Or maybe you're tuning into this and you're an educator, you're a teacher, you're someone that works with kids and students, and your whole world has been flipped upside down by this crisis that we're in. In just a matter of days, you went from being in a classroom with students to it looks like a few weeks we're not going to be in class, to it turned into a month, to now it's e-learning for the rest of the school year. And just everything has been flipped upside down without much notice, without your input. Or maybe you're just struggling because your employer has laid off, or you're making less income than before, or you're just uncertain of what the future holds with that, or maybe you're one of those parents that is dealing with the other side of the e-learning and just the craziness and the frustrations and the chaos of that. There's just so many things and reasons. Maybe you're missing family, missing loved ones that you can't be around because of different quarantine measures that are in place, or maybe you're missing your church family. And friends, I just want to say that life at times just feels dim and dark. And that's actually what the very beginning of existence was like. Dark. Just total darkness. And here's what it describes, the very beginning of the Bible, first couple verses of the Bible. Here's what it says. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So there's 3 descriptive words right there in the first 2 verses about what existence was like. It was formless, empty, and dark. And just imagine what this kind of existence would be like, and just existing within this total formlessness, emptiness, and darkness. But ever since the very beginning of time, God has been about bringing light into dark places. So here's what happened in verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. So first day of creation, God creates light. He says, "Let there be light." And I think it's so interesting. Like right off the bat, that's the first thing that is created before there's time, matter, materials, mammals. Before anything else, God says, "Let there be light." Like there's something about light throughout the story of Scripture. Let's skip a couple days in the creation story and let's go down to verse 14. Go to day 4 of creation. And this is so interesting to me. On day 4 it says, "And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." And what God does on day 4 is he creates the sun and the stars. And it says in verse 19, "And there was evening and there was morning, the 4th day." So day 1 of creation, God creates light. Day 4, God creates lights, plural, like all these different ways of illuminating and bringing light. Now, I watched some crazy, nerdy videos about light, like things that you just shouldn't even know about light, and like I can't even explain without just looking like a total goofball. So I'm just going to share one thing with you that I discovered from these videos on light and illumination. What science has discovered about light is that there is always a source for light. I know, just mind blown, right? There's always a source for light, meaning that if your eyes can sense any kind of visual image at all, even if you're in your bedroom at night, the lights are out, but your pupils adjust and you can still see something, that means there's light somewhere that's giving you the ability to see. It might be a little bit of light coming up under the doorway from the hallway light, or it might be a little bit of the sun reflecting on the moon that's shining in. But there's no light without a source for that light. And this is interesting because almost everything on planet Earth absorbs or reflects light. There's very few sources for light. I mean, you have fire, lightning, light bulbs, of course, the invention of that, and then in the cosmos you have the sun and the stars. Pretty much everything else absorbs or reflects light. Now here's what's so interesting about this. Like before there's even a source like the sun and the stars to illuminate the universe, God creates light. Day 1, God creates light. Before day 4, there's any source for light, which could only mean one thing: that God is that source of light at the beginning of existence. Like again, the biblical story, the biblical narrative is all about a God that brings light to dark places and dark seasons and dark time frames and dark families and dark lives and dark situations. The biblical story is all about a God that brings hope to the dark. And later on in the story of Scripture, this guy named John was inspired to write these words: "God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all." Now, just so you're aware, the darkness did return. And the reason for it coming back, the reason darkness entered back into the world, was us. The result of day 6 of creation, we brought the darkness back. We did dark things. The first couple mentioned in the Bible, they lie to each other, stab each other in the back, break their relationship with God and each other. Next chapter, one of their sons brutally kills his brother. And then darkness just sweeps the earth like a plague. And you get to Genesis chapter 6. You're just 6 chapters into the story, and God is in this state of pain. Or some translations it says regret. And here's what it says, Genesis 6. "The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. Earth had become so dark that the source of light itself had regretted creation. The God, the one that brought light to us, was regretting that he'd made us. And that's why the experience of life feels so dark at times, because dark things happen in dark places. Divorce happens in dark places. Broken relationships, that happens in dark places. Addiction happens in dark places. Shattered dreams happen in dark places. Wounded hearts happen in dark places. Loss happens in dark places. Sickness, pandemics happen in dark places. But God didn't remain in his regret very long. He actually started speaking about a great light that was coming. And the way he would speak this to humanity is through prophets, men and women that would speak his message to the people. And one of those prophets was a guy named Isaiah that talked about this great light that was coming. And he says this in chapter 9, "Nevertheless, that time of darkness and despair will not go on forever. The land of Zebulun and Naphtali will be humbled, but there will be a time in the future when Galilee of the Gentiles, which lies along the road that runs between the Jordan and the sea, will be filled with glory." Galilee of the Gentiles, like something or someone is coming from this place called Galilee that's going to be the great light, that's going to bring light back into the darkness. And in verse 2, it says that's going to do this: "The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine." And friends, these words that were penned in 750 BC were talking about a great light that would come from the town of Galilee named Jesus, the one that was coming to change everything. And Jesus came. Jesus came actually on Christmas. It seems like it's been forever ago, but just a few months ago, we celebrated the fact that Jesus, the great light, came. But after 33 years of Jesus shining light throughout the known world, Jesus died. The religious system of the day couldn't handle the illumination that he brought, that was illuminating their pride and their hypocrisy. So they killed Jesus. Death by crucifixion, one of the most agonizing, excruciating ways to die. And while Jesus was being crucified, Matthew actually records that something happened during the crucifixion story that relates to our theme today. It says in Matthew 27, "From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land." Friends, it doesn't get dark at 3 in the afternoon unless God tells it to get dark, unless something supernatural happens. And to me, it's almost like God, the source of light, turned off the light switch. And momentarily, it got dark again as Jesus died and his cold, lifeless body was put in a dark tomb. And Jesus was dead, but Jesus wasn't done. Because maybe you've heard the next chapter, the rest of the story, what we celebrate today. It says in verse 1 of Matthew 28, "After the Sabbath, at dawn, on the first day of the week, as the light was rising up over the horizon and breaking through the horizon, Jesus, the light of the world, was breaking through the darkness of this world." And it says, "Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. The angel said to the women, 'Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen.'" At dawn on Sunday, first day of the week, as the sun is rising up over the horizon, Jesus, the Son of God, is rising out of the tomb and breaking the power of death and darkness. He is bringing hope to the dark. Did you know that Easter, the word Easter, it derives from the Latin phrase in albus, which is the plural form of alba, which means this: dawn. Easter means dawn. Easter brings a hope that there is nothing too dark for the light of Jesus to break through it. There is absolutely nothing, not even death itself, can stop the dawn from coming, stop Easter from coming. And I believe, friends, there is an Easter coming for this pandemic we're living in. There is a dawn on the other side of this darkness that is coming very soon. But here's the amazing hope. Your dawn can happen today. Like your own personal Easter can happen right now in a moment as you surrender your life to Jesus. And here's how Jesus described it. It says, Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you have the light that leads to life. Friends, that is a promise that is available right now. Not on the other side of this crisis. It is right now where you can choose to follow Jesus with your life, and you can have your own personal Easter. Like dawn can come for the darkness of your life, whatever it may be. And man, aren't you sick of darkness? Like I'm so sick of this underwhelming world that just often underdelivers on hope. Jesus is not like that. Jesus can change everything in your life, in your story, and bring hope to the darkness, whatever it may be, right now. You know, Easter is a really powerful day for our family, and this Easter specifically is really special because today marks the 20-year anniversary of my wife giving her life to Jesus and choosing to follow Jesus. It was Easter of 2000. Where she accepted that sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross as part of her story, and she said, I want to follow Jesus with my life. And that light illuminated the dark parts and changed everything for her. And not that everything was easy, but every moment of every second of every hour, she has hope now. And we celebrate that today as a family. And today, right now, can be your own personal dawn. Easter can happen for your story. And I'm going to just say a prayer for us, and I just challenge you right now, like those that are watching, maybe you need to accept Christ and for the very first time in your life, choose to follow Jesus with your life. Maybe today is like kind of a recommitment, and you're just tuning in for Easter and you didn't know what this was going to entail or what this was going to bring to light for you, but just something is happening and you want to take a step of faith right now. And it's as simple as just telling God what's going on and just surrendering. So let's just pray together right now. God, I thank you so much for this amazing story that you've been writing since the beginning of time, that you are the hope in the dark. I pray that no matter what darkness individuals are feeling right now on the other side of this camera, that you, Holy Spirit, would just convict them and bring that light to them right now as they surrender to you, as they choose to become a Jesus follower and make your story part of their story. And I thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
By perfect love.
Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Man, I'm believing, I've been praying that people all over our community, our state, and beyond, we're singing out those words, crying out those words, saying those words. And it was a step in your faith journey of saying, like what the lyrics say, you are everything, Jesus. I make my life about following you. You are my hope in the dark. I trust in you with my life. And maybe you just got real with God a little bit during that song, or maybe that needs to continue to happen as we move forward in this Easter celebration. But whenever we offer an opportunity for people to choose to follow Jesus with their life like we just did, we make it a celebration at Revolution, and we make it a bold step where we give an opportunity for people to stand in our physical auditorium to just say to everyone, the hundreds of people in the auditorium, like, I'm choosing to follow Jesus. And we got to do it a little bit different right now, but we want to still offer that opportunity right now in this Easter service. If you would like to take a bold step where we can celebrate with you as a church in this step you've taken, if today you decided to follow Jesus with your life or recommit your life to Jesus and you got real with God for the first time in a long time, we want to celebrate with you. So we want you to just make a short, like 3-second video clip where it's just you saying, I choose Jesus. That's it. Just a clip of you saying, I choose Jesus. If you want to elaborate, you can. You don't have to. But and post that to whatever social media platform you want to, that you're connected within. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And here's the great thing. We can celebrate with you. If you use the hashtag #HopeInTheDarkRevolution, we'll be able to scroll through those and see these videos. If you're a Jesus follower, but man, in this season, there's been some darkness in this season, or some struggle in this season, but you just know Jesus is the hope in the dark. We want you to make a statement as well, a bold statement, and we want you to say, I still choose Jesus. Just a quick video, I still choose Jesus. No matter what the chaos or the darkness of this world may look like, Jesus is my hope in the dark. I choose Jesus. I still choose Jesus. So a quick video of you saying that, a bold video, and then put that hashtag #HopeInTheDarkRevolution so we can celebrate with you. You can search that in the search engine so we can see these different posts and celebrate. And like I said, we make it a celebration at Revolution when people decide to take this step, man. It is a party. So the band's going to continue playing some music where we celebrate what Easter is all about, where we celebrate with the steps that you're taking right now. So wherever you're at, in your living room, your kitchen, maybe you're driving, I don't know. We want you to, if you're not driving, stand to your feet and just sing these lyrics out. If you're in the car, sing out, bang on that steering wheel, and let's just celebrate together, friends.
How great the chasm that lay between us, how high the mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night. And through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows of my soul. The work is finished, the end is written. Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Look
one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your very body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your very body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Jesus, yours is the victory. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, you're my living hope. This is how I fight my battles. 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 This is how I fight is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, that the shadows can't deny.
Proclaim that truth over your life right now.
Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. In the name of Jesus. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus,
darkness trembles
at the name of Jesus.
Darkness trembles.
The name of Jesus.
Darkness trembles.
At the name of Jesus.
Darkness trembles.
There is hope in the dark in the name of Jesus. There is hope in the dark in the name of Jesus.
powerful service. You know, Easter 2020 definitely looks and feels different, but the truth and the hope that Jesus brings is the same. My name is Julie, and I just want to thank you for celebrating with us today. And the party isn't over yet. Here shortly, we're going to kick off Easter Jam. So grab your kiddos for a fun-filled family activity you don't want to miss. I also want to take a moment just to say thank you so much to everyone near and far who's given financially to Revolution in this season. A couple weeks ago, Anthony challenged us to be generous, and you all stepped up. We're able to continue doing everything we need to be doing thanks to your contributions. You can give right now at revolutioncc.org or one of the ways listed on your screen. You know, we know that this season is different and we know it's hard, but we believe that we are better together. That's a big idea at Revolution. And because of that, we're starting a new journey next week where the whole point is to figure out how we are better together in this season. So we hope that you'll be a part of your new normal Sundays at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 7 p.m. Now the band would love it if you would sit back and allow them to sing one more song for you. The lyrics from this song are straight out of the Bible, and please just consider this our prayer over you this Easter day.
Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace.
This is Kate Holcomb coming at you live. It's a gorgeous Easter day, and it looks like it's about Easter jam.
Just getting ready for Easter jam and just wanted to make sure that I had all my supplies. So I made a list. All right, let's check it together. First, PEEPS. Oh, here's my PEEPS right here. Check. Toothpicks. They're around here somewhere. Here they are. Toothpicks. Check. Ooh, microwave. I'll be right back. I suggest you leave this right where it's at. Whew. Microwave, check. That just leaves laundry basket and socks. Ooh. Oh, well, laundry basket, check. Socks, check. Looks like I've got all my supplies for Easter jam. Hurry, go get ready and get all yours, and I'll meet you right back here. So if you are someone that loves to do silly challenges or play fun games with your family and friends, right now I want you guys to give me a big thumbs up in the comments. Awesome, guys. All right, so I am one of those people that love to do silly challenges. So I have a challenge today. It's called Chubby Bunny. And the object of this game is to get as many marshmallows in your mouth as you can and still be able to say Chubby Bunny. So I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to challenge my friend Kate to see if she can get more marshmallows than I can. So how many marshmallows do you guys think that I'm going to be able to get? Let's find out. All right, I think I'm ready. All right, here goes. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Okay, one more. Chubby Bunny. Okay, friends, I got 6 marshmallows.
she can get more than 6 marshmallows. Good luck, Kate!
So Shauna challenged me to a Chubby Bunny contest. I cannot find marshmallows that are the same size, so we're gonna do a Chubby Bunny Peep challenge. So I have 8 Peeps here. We're gonna see if I can beat her 6 marshmallows. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny.
everyone, and happy Easter. I'm Trey, and I am so pumped for what's about to happen. Now, before we get started, there's only one thing you need to know. Easter Jam is for everybody in your family. So, if you're a teenager, this is for you. College students, you too. And if you're a younger kid, get ready. We're about to have some serious fun, and we need you to lead the way. Adults, buckle up. This is Easter like you've never done it before. No matter who you are, we want you to know that Easter Jam is for you. The only way to not have fun is to not participate. So look around. Is anybody missing? If so, hit that pause button and go get them now. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Okay, hear me out. There are only two kinds of people in the world. People who love these things, and people like me. I just don't get it. How do you eat something that is this cute and grainy? Now let's see how your family feels. Show me a thumbs up if you love to eat these things, and a thumbs down if you don't. Okay. There are a lot of different opinions out there. But no matter how you feel about eating Peeps, you're gonna love this game. Your family is going to face off in the greatest Peeps jousting competition of all time. I'm gonna explain how it works, and then I'll tell you when to start. First, divide the room into 2 teams. Next, take 2 Peeps and assign them to a team. Now, if you don't have any Peeps, no worries at all. Big marshmallows like this one will work just as well. Now, Team A gets Peep A, Team B gets Peep B. You can come up with cooler names like Lord Sugarcoat or Sir Sprinkles. You get the idea. You can also use a marker or a Sharpie to decorate your Peeps to give them some personality. Maybe you can draw a mustache on your Peep, or give them some mean eyebrows or a fancy outfit. Just let your creative juices flow. Next, you need to prepare your Peeps for battle. Take a toothpick and stick it into the front of each Peep, just like that. Now you can think of the toothpick as a jouster, a lightsaber, or a sword. It just depends on how serious your family is about the competition. Make sure the toothpick is facing forward and toward the other Peep. Now you're gonna place the 2 combatants on a microwave plate. No social distancing is necessary. You want the Peeps to be as close together and facing one another. And finally, time for the big event. Gather around and put the plate in the microwave, setting the timer to 45 seconds. You won't let it run that long. In fact, don't let it run that long. Then press start. Watch at a safe distance until the Peeps drop their toothpick sabers and one touches the other. The toothpick that touches the other Peep first, that Peep wins. Now, as soon as this happens, you're gonna wanna stop the microwave. Trust me on this one. Stop the microwave. Okay, it's time to settle this thing. And don't forget to snap a pic of that photo finish. It's go time. Press pause now, and I'll wait here. How did it go? Who won? I want pictures. You can post them with the hashtag EasterJam2020. Now, I have to admit, this was a lot more fun than I thought. And also, this happened. Jeez. All right, you ready for another game? For this one, you need a laundry basket and socks. Lots of socks. Clean or dirty, doesn't matter, as long as they have a match. Now, if you need to, go grab those things now. Press pause. I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then I'll explain the rest. Got your basket and socks? Great. Now, choose 2 people to play. You'll also need 2 people to be scorekeepers. Now, to get started, dump all the socks on one side of the room. Don't worry, those socks will make their way back to the basket real soon. Then, place the basket on the other side. Now when I say go, players will grab a sock, go through the pile, and find the matching one. You'll roll the socks together in the shape of a ball, or like an Easter egg, and then toss them. Just like that, across the room into the laundry or Easter basket. Now the player with the most socks or eggs in the basket at the end of the timer wins. If you don't have scorekeepers to help you count, you have to keep up with that number on your own. So that means everybody's on the honor system, all right? Parents, I'm looking at you. Okay, now if you need to, press pause now and get everything and everyone in position for the game. I'll wait here. Everybody ready? Great. We're putting a countdown timer on the screen right now, and this Easter egg throwdown is happening in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, families, come back over here. Come on back. Who won? Okay, that was wild. And whoever won gets socks. Okay, just kidding. But adults, make sure whoever won the challenge gets a special treat today. Now, I hope you're having fun so far. We're celebrating because today is Easter. And if you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Today we'll talk about what makes today, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we get there, I know you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And to make that happen, you have a few options. Pause this video and pick one of the challenges on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter. Okay, so I just got like 9 texts from my crew saying happy Easter. Thanks, fam. Real nice. Now, even though we're celebrating a little differently than we have in past years, that's okay. Easter is still happy. And that's not just because of peep wars or Easter baskets or chocolate bunnies, although those things are awesome. It's still happy because of what happened thousands of years ago at the first Easter. It's the world's most powerful story, and yet it's so simple. So simple that it can be told with laundry.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts, and minds, and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of his own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then he died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely he was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took his body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now he was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down his life. Through God's power, he defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, he's promised to return, so we can live with him forever.
I hear that story every Easter, and it always amazes me. I mean, God sent Jesus to the world to remind me that he is greater than anything that can go wrong in my world. The simple fact that Jesus came back to life is proof to me that I can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can because Jesus is alive. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can because Jesus is alive. Pause the video while you discuss. And when you're finished, meet me back here. Awesome. I love conversations like these because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to trust him with what's going on in my life right now. And I hope that's true for you too. And I hope you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. To get you started, here's one last challenge. Now for this one, you'll need to decide who is the technology genius at your house. Maybe it's a step-parent or an aunt, or maybe an 8th grader. Either way, decide who that person is now. Got it? Awesome. Now, as soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take a family Easter photo. You can be dressed up or you can be in your PJs. It can be totally normal with smiling faces or silly with one of those filters that turns your face into a bunny rabbit. No matter how you do it, take a family photo and make it awesome. Then share it to social media. Remember to use the hashtag EasterJam2020 so we can see your family's Easter style. Maybe now more than ever, this is a time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope he gives us in Jesus. After all, that's what makes Easter so happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. I'll never be the same. When I stand in that place, realize meeting face to face. I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive.